All right, emergency stream. It's emergency. Something is going on that's a little bit wild here. Look at this. So this Anon 2.0 says, what kind of bullshit are these fuckers promoting in the name of open source, misleading people into making spam PRs in the main Express.js repo? Look at this. Update readme, update readme, update readme, update readme, update readme, update readme. Update readme, update readme. And look at this. If you go onto the Express.js, it is literally just update readme. Just non-stop. Hello, I am new to GitHub. Please accept my pull request. You can you can just compliment my text here. Smiley face. Damn, not only are you new to GitHub, but apparently you're new to syntax as well. This is wild. Oh my goodness. I love you too. Did you see what I just looked at? Okay, what do we got here? Let's look at a couple of these. Example. It actually doesn't even make any sense. We're at 2 for 2. It doesn't even make any sense. Then there's apparently this video right here. All right, so apparently this is on 2x, and she's describing
वगैरह सब कॉपी करा गया पर ये एक्सप्रेस का अकाउंट नहीं है, ये हमारा खुद का अकाउंट है। तो इस तरीके से हम दूसरे लोगों के कोड को अपने अकाउंट में कॉपी करते हैं और इस कोड में हम कुछ चेंजेस कर सकते हैं। जैसे रीडमी को अगर हम एडिट कर दें तो यहाँ पर हम रीडमी में सबसे ऊपर या यहाँ पर आ जाते हैं, सबसे ऊपर हम चेंज कर सकते हैं। लेट्स सपोज इफ आई राइट माय नेम या इफ आई राइट अपना कॉलेज, तो यहाँ मैंने अपना कॉलेज लिख दिया। इस चेंज को मैंने कमिट कर दिया। अब हम इसे कहाँ कमिट कर रहे हैं? हम इसे मास्टर ब्रांच के अंदर कमिट कर रहे हैं अपने अकाउंट पर। अब ये दूसरे अकाउंट के अंदर कमिट कर दिया। तो ये चेंज हमारा नया कमिट हो गया एंड यहाँ हमें दिखा रहा है दिस ब्रांच इज वन कमिट अहेड ऑफ एक्सप्रेस.js मास्टर, यानी जहाँ से ओरिजिनली कॉपी किया था उससे।
Okay, so far this looks like an educational video.
अब हम एक कमिट आगे आ गए। तो हम चाहते हैं कि हमारा जो चेंज है उसे हम ओरिजिनल के साथ मर्ज करना चाहते हैं। तो मर्ज करने के लिए हम अपनी पुल रिक्वेस्ट क्रिएट कर सकते हैं। तो जब भी हमें मर्ज करना होता है दूसरे कोड के साथ तो हम पुल रिक्वेस्ट को क्रिएट करते हैं और पुल रिक्वेस्ट क्रिएट करने के लिए हम न्यू पुल रिक्वेस्ट पर जाएंगे और यहाँ पर जाकर हम बेसिकली कह रहे हैं कि हमारा जो मास्टर ब्रांच है उसको एक्सप्रेस.js यानी जो बेस रिपोजिटरी थी जहाँ से हमने कॉपी किया था सब कुछ उसके साथ मर्ज कर दो। तो मर्ज करने के लिए यहाँ पर हमें दिखा रहा है कि हमने क्या क्या चेंजेस किए हैं। हमने ये एक नया चेंज किया है। अब वैसे तो पुल रिक्वेस्ट क्रिएट करने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं पर उसे करना नहीं है एक्चुअली, क्योंकि हमने बहुत ही फालतू सा यहाँ पे चेंज किया, हमने कुछ यूजफुल ऐड नहीं किया रिपो के अंदर। पर जनरली पुल रिक्वेस्ट को हम इसी तरीके से यूज करते हैं जब हम कुछ
Okay, hold on. This looks like an educational video. Just hold on. Let her cook. Let her cook. Just let her cook for a second.
कोड के अंदर कर रहे होते हैं। जैसे उन्होंने कोई गलती कर रखी है कोड के अंदर तो उसको हमने फिक्स कर दिया, या फिर कोई नया फीचर हम उनके कोड के अंदर उनकी वेबसाइट के अंदर
I can't understand anything she's saying.
वैसे जो ओरिजिनल ओनर है उसने अभी लिमिट नहीं कर रखा कि नए यूजर्स को रिक्वेस्ट नहीं कर सकते। उन्होंने एक्सपीरियंस किया होगा कि कैसे लोग फालतू चेंजेस करके पुल रिक्वेस्ट क्रिएट करें, पर हमें कभी अननेसेसरी पुल रिक्वेस्ट क्रिएट नहीं करनी। जब भी हम कोई यूजफुल चेंज करें तभी हम अपनी पुल रिक्वेस्ट को क्रिएट करेंगे। तो इस तरीके
Wait, did you see that? Did you see that? Hold on. Did you see that?
क्योंकि उन्होंने भी एक्सपीरियंस किया होगा कि कैसे लोग फालतू चेंजेस करके
People are making unnecessary changes and making pull requests and creating. Do not request on essentials. That little last part, there, I don't know if you saw the last part. It's kind of hard to read the subtitles here. It says the subtitle says that there is also a limit of limit on the number of new users cannot create requests because he too must have experienced such. People are making unnecessary changes and making pull requests and creating, and we will never have to face those. Do not request on essentials. Yeah, dude, the subtitles are totally effed up. Subtitles are totally effed up. But is that supposed to be like hold on. Am I misreading that? I don't think the subtitles are true. So am I misunderstanding this, or was this literally someone trying to teach a college about how to make an open source pull request, and then all the people who've never done it didn't realize, like, they're so new to programming in general that they never actually translated in their head that they're not supposed to go and do that. You guys go find the original video. You guys link it to me. Is that what's happening? Dang, and then this is what Express.js has to deal with? Let's see what they got on this one. Okay, so they've been able to kind of, they're able to prevent any more issues from being opened. Apna College, it means our college. It's not a real college. Okay. Well, what happened? I mean, is it an online one? I mean, I have no idea. Let's see. This is a gem. Dang. So add comment in res status method. If code is of type string or float with fractional part, then log to pass proper integer. I mean, that's not technically wrong. Looks good to me. I mean, I'm a little bit surprised that this one didn't get. At least it's correct. At least it's a valid PR. At least it actually is going. Oh wow! So this is like a really, really, really long one, and then at some point within here, shows you how. Okay, so this is just Git and GitHub to. Oh, that Windows 11 to development. Okay, so this is literally just. It's just a Git development going on here. Is it towards the end? It must have been towards the beginning. I must have. Oh no, it's right. Yeah, it's like right here, huh?
अगर यहाँ मैंने अपना कॉलेज लिख दिया, इस चेंज को मैंने कमिट कर दिया, अब हम इस अंदर कमिट आगे आ गए हैं। तो अब हम चाहते हैं कि हमारा जो चेंज है उसे हम ओरिजिनल के साथ मर्ज करना चाहते हैं, तो मर्ज करने के लिए हम अपनी पुल रिक्वेस्ट क्रिएट कर सकते हैं.
I don't think I can read these subtitles. I don't think I got it. Guys, I don't think I got this. I don't think I got this, but
तो जब भी हमें मर्ज करना होता है दूसरे को
this is just like truly an unfortunate situation. This is just a tutorial. She's an educator and teaching about Git and GitHub, but people blindly follow her in pursuit of that making such commits will lend them jobs. Okay. Does she say, I mean, I can't tell, like, by the ending in the really weak translations, it looks like it says something along the lines of, don't just make nonsense PRs, make good PRs. And if you make good PRs, then you get job. Is that like what it says? Note, do not create PRs or issues on the official repository of projects as it is unprofessional. Try to test all things in your own repo. That was 5 months ago. Oh my goodness. Man, you know, so we're gonna do a little bit of advice here. Just a little bit of advice for anyone that's looking at this. When it comes to open source repositories, you should really try to get to know the people that are working on it. You should try to be involved in the project. Often they have, especially like nowadays, there's almost always a Discord associated with every project. Be a part of the conversations, really get to know people, and that way when it actually comes time to like wanting to get involved, you have the relationships, you have the understanding, you've asked questions, you've made movements towards all those things. So that way when you do actually try to make a PR, it's a meaningful, good PR. Bros, stop trying to defend her. I don't see anything she's done wrong, right? Like, I cannot tell anything about what she's done wrong. I can't speak whatever language, I can't read whatever language she is saying, so I don't know. I have no idea. Let's see. This teacher is the sort of part of the big scam in name of upskilling. Oh, interesting. They took $75 for a basic ass course in HTML, CSS, and a little bit of JS in India, where the average income is around $8,000 to $10,000 per year. Dude, please. I don't know. The thing is, I don't know anything about this. Channel. The whole class started from. There's a link. Okay, interesting. This is getting deeper. Because so far, what I read, like based on only what I've seen, I wouldn't be like, oh, like I would not assume this person has bad intent, right? I have no proof yet of bad intent. Yeah, this looks like people just trying to find a shortcut to get a job. Okay, hold on.
All right. So a few things have been happening in open source. There's some sort of a controversy that was sort of inevitable, if I'm being honest. So in this video, I'm going to talk about a few do's and don'ts if you're thinking of contributing to open source. What are the controversies that are happening? How?
Okay, so this is just do's and don'ts. I mean, this doesn't look like, this is not a video that's actually getting us any closer to what's going on here. Hold on, let's go right here.
The bottom here. That there are sort of bad things that I'm being tagged on. Happy to take the blame for it, as I said. But polluting open source, I think I am to blame for it. But then, DigitalOcean is to blame for it. No one could have predicted that, trying to do something good could lead to so much bad. It's been 6 months since I made that last video. Every video of mine has had huge disclaimers, like 2-minute disclaimers. Okay, guys, please don't do it the wrong way, do it the right way. The maintainers of these projects don't like it. I've personally been a maintainer in one of these projects, and
I'm a little bit confused by what he was saying. He's just like, hey, I'm to blame, but don't worry about not blaming. And I put a bunch of disclaimers in all this.
It's pretty painful to look at 30 pull requests and get tagged persistently on issues where people have left obvious things and not fixed them. So just don't make these contributions. And lastly, there's a stark difference in the day 0 versus day 1 attitude of maintainers. When I put out a video and I talk to the maintainers, on day 0, everyone's really happy because the project has suddenly reached GitHub trending. They're seeing so many people come in the community and talk. So day 0, every contributor is happy. Day 1, when 30 pull requests get put out in the same day, is when people tend to realize this is a little unmanageable. And then if it keeps on happening for a month, is when people don't like the fact that the project.
That's a really good point. Dude, that's such a good, I mean, I do like his point that he's saying that on day 0, when you say something really nice about a project, everyone's all super happy. But then when you get into tons and tons of requests coming in saying, hey, you need to, like, here, look at my change. Hey, look at my change. Hey, look at my change. That it becomes like a huge pain. I mean, these are all interesting points. I guess the problem is we don't have any background on this. You guys keep saying, "Oh no, trust us. Oh no, trust us. No, trust us." Like what I'm seeing right now. See the very first part right here, the context. Okay, we'll jump over to the context.
There are a few videos that a few YouTubers made, which they were related to a lot of Indians contributing to open source. Not the right
I don't think it's a lot of Indians. I think it's just simply don't do it this way.
way. What's not the right way, Hakirat? Making a lot of typo changes, documentation changes, filling up 40, 50 pull requests in one day, tagging a lot of maintainers, creating a lot of issues in their heads, making the lives generally of maintainers very miserable. I have personally been a maintainer and sort of seen this firsthand, so I understand the problem. The reason this problem sort of happened was because there's a wave of two things in India. One, you can get a t-shirt via Hacktoberfest. Two, you might get a job if you contribute to open source. This led to a lot of Indians sort of flocking to these organizations and making bad contributions. So that's what's happening. This has been happening for a while now. It's only that it's come to light now a little too much thanks to people making videos on it. So let's talk about if you are still thinking of contributing to open source, which if I'm being honest.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think this isn't. I don't feel like this is getting any closer to the things. At the end of the day, like this. I mean, to me, this looks like a true just oopsie daisy, and it sounds like some people are really upset, and some people really deeply dislike whoever this Apna College is. I don't know anything about Apna College, so I can't say positives or negatives about it. I know it's related to the crux of the issue, but it's not the issue. I'm not even sure if it's related to the crux. I mean, the hard part is, yeah, sure. Maybe this guy, I mean, the problem is just like he's trying to say, and he's trying to kind of defend himself, that he didn't think people would go and do whatever they did. So I kind of said this before, and I'm going to say it again. Here's the truest, what I think is the real problem here. The real problem is that we say, hey, don't do all this open source stuff. Don't do open source for a job. Don't do any of this stuff. None of these things help. Blah, 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 blah. They say all these things. But at the other side, we also see people being celebrated for open source, getting dream jobs because of open source. All these positive things are happening to them. And so people get this idea, especially beginners who don't understand the entire problem. They're going to go off and get this really weird perception. Yeah, chat, quit being a bunch of dummies right now. And so it's like, I don't see this as I don't see any malevolence in this. Right? And so when you, especially there's a lot of people that will back this up, that in India, it's a tough time to get a job as a software engineer, right? You have tons of people flooding into the market, and the available jobs are much smaller than bigger. And so you have a lot of talent coming in, and you have a minimal amount of jobs. You have an entire supply chain issue. And then you tell people, or people see, or people go on the internet and see people who have the dream jobs, who contribute to open source. They see people doing all these things, and what happens? Of course, they're going to think it's natural to think this is how you do it. Supply and demand, not a supply chain. Yeah, this is not a supply chain problems. It is most certainly a supply versus demand. So basically, Apna saw, okay, hold on. So Apna College saw this as a punch, and they punched back. Source: I bought both their courses, and Hakaret is a genuine AF by a long shot. Okay, yeah, but I don't know what you mean by we've seen literally no punchbacks from Apna. I don't have any of that information. I don't think there is. I don't think there's racism in that statement that it's tough in India. That's a geographical statement by itself. But plain truth can't be called plain racism either. As a beginner, what they don't realize is that good PRs are just as open as bad ones are. When I recruit, if I see bad PR, the guy is out of my mind that very moment. Resumed, dropped. Yeah. I don't. That you don't like, guys. Stop being dumb. Let's see. Is the dream job not? Let's see. Is the dream job not just correlation? Isn't causation? So people who contribute to OSS and get dream jobs. Yeah, I mean, but that's again, that causation versus correlation is an extremely, extremely difficult thing for people to suss out. When you see the same thing happen a bunch of times, it's very simple, especially when you don't understand something, to make this, okay? It's not like people just sit there completely analytical at all points in their life. When you're trying hard and you really wish you had a job and you're scraping by, you're at the bottom of the barrel, guess what? You're going to try as much things that come across, okay? You're not going to sit there and be like, well, actually, you know, when you really think about it, this could give a rise to the old correlation versus causation problem, right? Like, nobody is going to, ain't nobody going to just like go through this nice, gentle thought process. Like, when I was poor as shit, and I was eating $2 a day for meals, downstairs guy threatening to murder me and my brand new, freshly married hot wife. You know, like, things were really hard, and I was working like 80 to 100 hours a week, and I was doing the best I can to provide and just barely scraping by. So guess what? If open source would have been something that I've just seen over and over again, guess what I would have done? I would have probably tried to commit to open source. Of course I would have. Like, you know, I just try to put myself in these people's shoes because it's so easy to jump in and think, oh, these people are somehow malicious. They're somehow being bad. I think they're literally just thinking they see an opportunity to close the gap and actually have something better in life. So please, come on. And also, you know, don't say stupid things like with racism and all that, okay? It just makes you look dumb, okay? You know, this clearly ain't about racism, okay? Come on, people. Come on. Open source PRs are the way to get noticed and prove that you can, oh my goodness, that you can do things. This is a common in a lot of countries where just based on the country, you are not taken seriously. Interesting. I see this whole perception, I think, is where a bit of the danger lies. You know what I mean? Like, this is where a bit of the danger lies, because open source PRs are a way, that's true. It is a way to get noticed. Absolutely. It's a way to prove that you can do things. Sure, it is one way. But there's a lot of risks involved with it as well, and a lot of people end up working their entire life on open source, and guess what? Their life isn't great. They didn't get anything good. Yeah, here, hold on. Who's this guy? Sorry, it's oopsies. I just pinned it. Shit. Unpin this message. Okay, hold on. Who we banning? Let me see. What do we got here? I live in India. This is a third world country where most people live in a very rural villages who are suddenly on the internet. Content creators need to explain things in a way their audience understands. You cannot create content and assume your audience is sophisticated. It isn't. Let's see. It simply isn't in this part of the world. This is like taking a 17th century barely literate American peasant and teaching them GitHub without qualifiers. I mean, the problem is there is some level of truth to that, in the sense that if you have no experience, teaching somebody something could make them think that there's a 0 to 60 gap. But to say that this comparison is probably pretty far off. Like, I understand what you're trying to say. Maybe rethink about what you're trying to say here, where when someone doesn't have any context at all, it's very easy to get things wrong. And this is the thing. Here's the deal. This isn't a problem with India. This is not some Indian exclusive problem. You don't think all of the people coming out of America from these boot camps aren't doing the same shit? India, kind of a big place. I hear there's literally 1 billion people. Like, there are literally boot campers all flying out right now that are just absolutely struggling. That's more than 10? Absolutely more than 10. Absolutely more than 10, less than 7 billion. I know that. I think the thing is that you gotta have grace. Like, it feels like everybody in this chat is just looking for like the worst possible stuff. You know, try to give grace to people and what they're trying to say, and try to understand what they're trying to say, even if they don't say it in the best way. You know, like, there's way better ways to say things. To tell people that have never, ever contributed to open source, who are just starting to learn tech, and to give them this carrot is a bad incentivization. Like, that's a good way to say it. Saying it that other way, whoever said it, it was not very good. You know what I mean? It's not very good. I don't like it at all. It seems the ire was already there because they think Apna College is a scam. Then this happened. Yeah, if you already think Apna College is a scam, then you're already going to... There's like a whole bunch of baked into the cake there. You know what I mean? It's not exclusive to India, but India has a big population of devs of all level across the world comparatively. Yeah, there might be an absolute larger number, you know, because, like, real talk, let's just say there's the same percentage of devs in India as there is America. That literally means there's like 5 times absolute more devs from India than there is from America, which means that by like just accidental statistics and us doing causation versus correlation, remember all that causation versus correlation talk we did earlier? You by, correlation, looking at it and seeing on average more than you make that dumb mistake, right? It's true. This isn't limited to India. I've seen these type of PRs from Americans as well. But the differences in population and technology advancement / normalization. See, I don't know how much of this is or is not true. Might be a part of why people assume the problem is with India. There might also be a cultural difference. In Europe, we are very cautious, and there is an expectation to understand something more in depth before trying to accomplish anything. That might be a different culture in India. Yeah, I can't speak to that. I mean, it's a good point. Like sometimes I've seen so many people get heated in exchange. And then you'll see like how that it's just like purely like a cultural difference in communication.